Angela would have to take me with her, and she would cut out of school or be smoking in the schoolyard, and then I would go home. Of course, I was 6 years younger than her, and I would tell my mother, Angela's smoking.
And listen, not everybody's going to agree with my decision. I can give a fuck less. You're in that position, it's you who got to face it, then you do what you need to do.
Little Ciancaglini, he gets to the jail and
steal cars from Maryland and take them to Delaware to a chop shop.
The inside prison in Thailand, as well as what Victor Malarek, the reporter, did to get me out of there.
And I sat down and thought about it for the longest time. Okay, but once I made up my mind, it was about survival. I need to take care of my kids and take care of my family. And when a guy's not being loyal to you, how could you be loyal to him?
Welcome to Chattin with Staxx. Welcome to another episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got cousin Dom. What's up, man?
What's up? What's going on?
Chilling, man. How you been?
Hanging in there, bro. Trying to stay warm and dry out here. It's fucking pouring rain and shit. It sucks.
Yeah, man. So, like a lot of people talk about this and that, but I want to get into your story, man, and where you're from, and so people could know your background a little bit. I saw you on YouTube, and I've been watching your stuff, but I know there was drama and a bunch of trolls and all this bullshit, and
yes, sir.
What's up, Bobby, man? How you doing? Shout out to Bobby Luisi.
How you doing, Bobby? What's up, man?
Good dude right there.
Got a lot of people in here, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you want to tell the people where you're from and where you grew up and all that?
Yeah. So originally I'm from Long Island, New York. Came out from Smithtown. My parents saw fit to move out to Arizona. So they took me out to Arizona and went out there.
How old when you went to Arizona?
I was like 13 years old when I came out here. Came out to Arizona, and then went back, stayed with my grandmother, a bunch of shit, and then came back to Arizona ultimately, and just went buck fucking wild out in Arizona, man. Just lost my shit out there, so it was kind of crazy.
Well, so when you were growing up, what was the first time? Have you ever been in trouble, like with the law? And
yeah.
So when was the first time you ever had an experience with the law? And
all right. So very first experience with the law was when we were kids. We were hanging out down the block from my house in Long Island, and we were breaking a bunch of beer bottles and acting like a bunch of friggin' hoodlums and shit down in the. We used to hang out in the sump, and they used to freak out. Like all the neighbors, everybody would freak out. Like you kids shouldn't be down there in that fucking sump. And Suffolk County PD came down there, beat the shit out of us, brought us home.
Smithtown, you said, right?
Yeah. And they came down there, they whooped our ass. They brought us home, drug us home to our parents, where we got even further jacked up. And so that was our thing, man. And we used to have this little place that we used to hang out at, and the cops would always come through there because we used to hang out with all like these teenage kids or whatever. And they would light off bottle rockets and break stuff or whatever. We used to call this place, it was called Rush. And kids would go down there with the BMX bikes and all that stuff. We were just like a bunch of little hoodlums, you know what I mean? Pain in the asses. So that's like kind of my first taste of the law, but that really wasn't anything crazy, In Arizona,
so when you were growing, did you have any mob influence in any of your family?
Yeah, definitely. The family was definitely had things going on
both sides or one side.
Both sides. Yeah, both sides. Yeah, absolutely. My mother's side was a little more flamboyant than my father's side. My father's side was very old school, very quiet, old country type of shit. And my mother's family side of the family was very much more flamboyant, very much more out there. You know what I'm saying?
Not my cousin. It's someone's cousin. Cousin Dom, man.
I'm everybody's Coogee, man. I'm cousin Dom,
Cousin Dom, man.
Yeah. So no, yeah, definitely. And my father didn't want that life for me, man. You know what I mean? My father was
everyone loves when I ask this question, man.
What's
so
that?
how old were you when you realized that you were around that type of shit? Like that
right
that
after,
the mob was like involved.
So, oh shit! I just hit my chair. Hold on. Right after,
You need
okay,
one of those YouTube shares, man.
dude, I need one of those like gangster ass chairs. Yeah,
The YouTube ones.
yeah. It's all cold out here, so the freaking mechanism don't work right. So Joe, my aunt passed away, and when my aunt passed away, I was like 12 years old, and I noticed that there was a lot of dudes at the funeral that were, there was a lot of people that were like kneeling down and kissing the fucking ring type of shit. You know what I mean? I was like, who are these guys? And my father was like, listen, you don't ask about these guys, you just, whatever, and they brought in like these big ass flowers and stuff, and they were from these guys. And I was like, Jesus Christ, And
this was in New York?
Yeah, it was in New York. Yeah. And, that was kind of when my dad was like, listen, you don't talk about these guys, whatever, don't involve yourself with these guys. But I got the education didn't stop until, I mean, even going forward doing this, when I first started doing this, my father started breaking shit down for me and telling me, yo, you need to be careful. You can't talk about this. You can't talk about that. And I found out a lot more shit that I didn't even know growing up my whole life. But my father filled me in with a lot of stuff during my teenage years, So,
yeah.
So
you said when we spoke earlier, you said that you got involved with the ecstasy out in out on the West Coast. So what made you get involved with all that? Like,
well, so I had friends of mine that were little small time, here and there doing little shit, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy. And everybody was trying to get their hands on e-pills at the time. And so we wound up meeting this kid, and we were talking to this kid, and I forget who introduced us to him, to be honest with you, but we met this kid, and he's like, hey, this dude, his dad is basically reverse engineered these pills and realized that these pills are like really bad, bro. Like the shit they're adding to these pills is really bad. So we were like, all right, whatever. And he was like, yeah. So he made his own, and it's like really, good shit or whatever. So we were like,
he getting all the chemicals and mixing it all himself.
He told us it was like meth in some of them. He's tested other ones, said there was like heroin in some of them. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So we were like, damn. Well, he came up with these pills, and we were young as fuck. We didn't care, bro. We were like, yeah, fuck it, down them. And it was like the red hexagons and the Diablos and shit they used to get back in the day, but like times 10. Like I was, watching kids take these Staxx, and they would sit there and they would just bang their heads up against brick walls and just feel amazing about it. It was like the most flipped out thing. And I'm like, yo, like this is crazy. So I told this kid, I'm like, yo, we could fucking push these. Like motherfuckers would want these, like this is crazy. So he was like, yo, all right, cool. How much you want? I'm like, well, how much can you get? Kid comes walking out the bedroom, bro, with a freaking supermarket bag, bro, like half filled with these pills. And he just drops them on the bed. There you go. Like just sell as many as you can. So me and a couple of my boys just start running around, dude, just popping these pills off like nobody's business. And then we go back and we hand in the cash to this kid's dad. This kid's dad only charged us like $6 a pill. We were like, what the fuck? But then when he saw how much we were moving, he was like, all right, he upped it to like $9 a pill, shit like that. But I mean, dude, we're popping these off for $20, $25. If I didn't know you and it was like at a rave setting, you're paying $30, $35 a pop for these things. So now here we are, these teenage kids with fucking cash coming out of our assholes. We didn't know what the hell to do with it all. You know what I mean? I'm stuffing money in Folgers coffee cans and burying it in the backyard and shit. And then things started to change. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot more, like a lot of violence started coming, with all that shit. People were getting like smashed and things like that. Nobody knew where any of that was coming from.
These are some of the pills that were in Arizona back then.
Yeah. The little skulls and shit. Yeah. Yeah, those had the yeah, I know about those. So
do
anyway,
you got any situations that you remember, like maybe that started to happen to you once all
yeah.
this shit started
So
escalating?
I started getting hemmed up by people. People started hemming me up and asking me like in-depth type of questions. Not just like, oh, hey Dom, how many can you get? It was more like, hey Dom, so where are you getting these from? You know what I mean? These are different. Like, these don't even have stamps on them. Like, where you getting this shit? And I'd be like, I don't know, don't trip, bro. Just how many you want? You know what I'm saying? Like people started like edging on. And then I had a couple of times where I had a couple of robbery attempts on me and shit. And they attempted, but they didn't get away with nothing. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is shit getting this hectic? You know what I mean? Like before, it was just a bunch of kids just running around doing stupid shit. Nobody cared. And then all of a sudden, people started getting their heads caved in. And people were starting to talk. And people, I had people calling my phone and coming by my house that I didn't even know. And I'm like, how the fuck are these people finding out where I'm living at? So then I had to stop pushing the shit because I used to just push right out my mother's house. I lived in my old bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really wasn't no shit. They would come up to my back window. I had the screen pushed out, and I would just fucking serve out the window. You know what I mean? Yeah. I lived in an upper, like not an upper class neighborhood, but like an upper middle class neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like where, like we struggled to survive there, but it was like it was a good cover. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody thought that this type of shit was going on out the window. And then I started getting some really suspicious characters coming by the house. And, then, one thing led to another. And then come to find out that that these people that have been going around trying to figure out where all this shit was coming from and trying to get to the sources of everything. Yeah. They were with Sammy, Sammy G. And so I found out about this. And I was like, oh man, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not.
So when you were out there, were people were dropping Sammy's name, right?
Yeah, it was people dropping Sammy's name for sure. Yeah, like
so he's out there in witness protection, and he's really selling drugs.
Yeah, I don't know. See, now here's the thing. I don't know for a fact that he was doing anything. I know for a fact his kids were doing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
he put up the money, and he said he didn't have anything to do with it, and then he tried to take the blame and said he did it all.
Yeah,
but the phones were under his wife's name, and it's a bunch of crazy shit. But do you remember any of these places in when you were out there? This is his old apartment.
That was over in Tempe, bro.
This is one of his restaurants.
Okay, yeah.
He had this restaurant, and I guess he had a construction company out there.
Did he? Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, I was young, man. I was just a kid, so I didn't get involved with like him or anything like that. I knew that people were going around, and people were like, "Yo." As soon as I heard like the name, of his son, I heard Gerard was going around, and I knew all these kids. See, the thing is that all the kids that he was using as his like muscle or whatever, as his pushers and shit, these were all kids that I went to high school with. They were part of this little fucking white supremacist wannabe fucking like street gang shit. They called themselves Devil Dogs, and I knew a lot of those kids. I knew a lot of those dudes. They went to Highland High School. I went to Gilbert High School, but they, all of our friends like intersected and shit like that. So I knew a lot of these kids. And
did you know the guy who ended up testifying against him?
Which one of the brothers?
The guy, Bill.
I know Kevin.
This is Gerard.
Mike. Yeah. I know Kevin and Mike.
So he ended up getting testified against by a guy, Bill Lambert.
Yeah, that was one of them. The other kids all rolled too. And but I knew when those dudes were involved, I was like, man, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? They wound up beating my fucking buddy Jordan Jarvis like almost to completely death, dude. Like kid still has brain damage to this day. You know what I mean? I knew him.
What happened? Were you there when it happened?
Yeah, they fucking pulled up at a house party, and he was sitting in a fucking SUV, and they just bum rushed this SUV, bro. And this kid, Kevin Papa, slid the fucking seat back that he was sitting in, climbed on top of him, dude. And they were just rocking this fucking kid like almost to death. And there wasn't shit nobody could do about it. You know what I mean? Like they rolled.
It was over all the pills shit, right?
Yeah, definitely. And so when all that was going on, I got my co-defendant, my crime partner with me, and I'm over here like, yo, this is fucking retarded. Like, this is gonna end bad. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. You know what I mean? I got robbed out in front of fucking Lazy Q, which is now called Jester's Billiard. If it's still even around. I mean, it was Lazy Q. It transferred over to Jester's. I'm sitting in my boy's fucking Acura Integra, and I get a fucking gun put to the back of my head, and they don't even want the money, bro. They just like give me the fucking pills. So like I knew there was like a lot of inside fucking treachery. These are all like fucking upper middle class fucking white kids, bro. Like they don't know the street. You know what I mean? Like they don't know shit about the street. So they're giving everybody up left, right, and center. And so I'm like, yo, now they're starting to drop my fucking name. I'm getting fucking robbed. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is fucking bullshit. So I dropped it all together. I got the fuck out of that. I switched the game up, man. Me and my boys started just robbing fucking yayo dealers and, you know, and started fucking pushing yo. And because we had all the money, so we just bought a bunch of yo. And then I had this kid that I knew that was a pimp. He was a much older dude. He used to have like a whole little stable, I guess they call it, or whatever. He had his like whole little stable of all these strippers and shit. And, you know, they were like escorts on the weekend, whatever the fuck. And we used to sell rocks to them and shit too. So I got out of the pill game, went into the coke game, which got me completely away from all that shit. And,
the guy on the right, I think, was the guy that testified against them that I showed. I'm pretty sure that was the guy that testified against him.
Yeah. There's also Fat Fuck. They got a picture of him sitting on the fucking toilet and shit that's out there. We used to call him Fat Fuck. There was Ian, there was Kevin, there was Mike. You know what I mean? There was a lot of dudes that were all involved in that shit, man. I just got the fuck out. And I'm not dropping any names that these guys have all done time already. There's no statute of limitations and nothing. They've all already done their prison time. They've already done interviews and shit like that, like with the newspapers and all that. So, I mean, I'm not dropping any names that haven't already been out there in the general public. But there's an article out there floating around still to this day talking about the devil dogs. You know, but they were a fucking joke, man. Like those kids were a fucking joke, you know. They ran around, you know, picking fights with anybody, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. They had fucking Greek kids rolling with them, you know what I mean, who thought they were fucking white supremacy. It was a joke, bro. They motherfuckers ended up in prison, started crying out to the CO, pushing the button like, I don't want to be a racist no more, all this bullshit.
Jordan Jarvis, right? Jordan Jarvis took off, keg party, Gemini Street around Memorial Day. It says Gravano had a crew named Devil Dogs, Ecstasy Ring. A gang of skinheads brought him down.
Yeah, because they fucking opened their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like they ran.
Because everyone was using his name out there, saying Samuel put you in the desert. He wasn't hiding that he was in the witness protection program.
No,
right?
bro. That was the one thing everybody always just asked me, like, yo, did you know that he was like on witness? I'm like, bro. From the moment I knew he was in Arizona, bro, I knew that he was Sammy the Bull. I didn't know anything about him being like undercover and no shit like that. It was like, oh, well, he got plastic surgery and he, you know, da. And I'm like, yeah, but he ain't fucking hiding. Everybody knew he lived in fucking Tempe. You know what I mean? Everybody knew he lived in Tempe. So it was just, you know, I mean, it just was what it was.
I think that was part of the plan. His name held weight, kind of, you know. So his son was running around being, my father this, my father that, will put you in a hole. So he used that as the muscle to get the job done. And it all came crashing down.
Right. Well, because crime don't pay, bro. Real talk. You know what I mean? Crime really don't pay. I mean, it'll pay you some dividends at first, but you're going to pay it back one way or the other. It's coming back around full circle.
Yeah, they want that pound of flesh. And
I haven't done a damn thing in my life that I haven't had to pay my pound of flesh for. You know what I mean?
Me too.
For everything. So, You know,
I hear that Sammy the Bull's real sick too right now. So shout out to Sammy the Bull.
Shout out. Yeah, hope he. You know, I don't want to see anybody in a bad situation like that. Anybody. So I hope he makes it. I really do. You know. But yeah,
we need more stories.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I got out of all that shit pretty early.
Yeah. So
on, you know,
what was the last hoorah that really made you say fuck this, man?
Jordan
in Arizona.
Jordan. Oh, you mean to move?
Yeah, like once didn't you get busted?
Yeah, so when I oh, you know what I mean, to get out of the drug game or to get out
like
of
to get out of that the whole ecstasy business.
I really did, well when Jordan got fucked up, because I knew, because I was friends with my friend Nicole Patti and her sister.
Lee Cole don't know shit. Lee Cole don't know a fucking thing. But Sammy is fighting for his life.
Well, I knew these girls, right? And they were really good friends with his sister. She was much older than me, but I used to hang out with all of them. And I knew him personally. So when he got fucked up the way he did, and he got all fucked up, I was like, this is just getting out of control. Like, you know what I mean? It's right now it's punches. It's gonna turn to gunplay real fucking quick. You know what I mean? And And it wasn't like, oh, I'm like scared or nothing like that. It wasn't about that. It was just like, if it's an avoidable situation, I'm going to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all there was to it. I wasn't in love with the idea of selling these pills. I sure as fuck wasn't willing to die for it. You know, at this point, I'd already been shot 3 times. So for me, I was like, I know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to catch.
Do you want to explain? Do you want to explain maybe one of the times that you got shot and explain how it went down?
I got shot 3 times in the same. It was all one incident, but I took 3 bullets all at the same time. So I've told the story on my channel. I'll tell it again. It's all good. So I went down the block. You know what I mean? It was a pretty hot block where I was at.
Big Lou, what's up? Sorry, man. Yo, if you want to subscribe to Cousin Dom, just go to the description of this video and his
thank you. Appreciate
things in there, man.
Yeah. Big Lou rocks with me every day, bro. That's my dog. Man. But yeah, so I was in the I was walking down the block. I went to go to my homie Jose's house. I was gonna try and pick up a bag of weed. I went over there. He wasn't home, so I'm like, fuck it. I just kept walking. I'm out there just like this, you know what I mean? Black hoodie, fucking tucked over my head. I had my headphones in. You know what I mean? I had the old school Discman. You know what I'm talking about? And so I had the old school Discman and shit. I'm jamming out. I think I was even bumping like some Chino XL or something at the time. And I was walking down the block. And as I'm walking down the block, I see this old lady. She's out there like doing gardening or whatever. She's doing a thing, raking leaves, whatever the fuck she was doing. And I see her, and her eyes just open up like this. And she's looking at me, and she's going like this. And I'm like, what? And she's looking behind me, and she's like, no. And so I turn around. And there's this fucking essay dude in the middle of the street, man. Fucking got like this Mac 11, Mac 10, whatever the fuck it was, like pointed at me, bro. And this dude just starts littering shots down at me. So
did you turn around and face him?
Yeah, I faced him. That's what I did. So I turned and I faced him. Now I'm looking dead at this motherfucker. And he starts letting off. And I don't know what's wrong with me, bro, but I ran towards this dude thinking I could like grab the gun or whatever, but he was like a ways away from me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My fight or flight's all fucked up. So I started running towards this dude. And as I'm running towards this dude, I feel and I feel it like pressure. It didn't really hurt at first, but it pressure. And then when I realized like, oh shit, like I'm seeing the flame shooting off the end of this gun, I'm thinking, fuck, dude. This dude's going to hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't realize that.
Where'd you feel the pressure in your legs?
I felt the pressure in my legs. So I turn, and as I'm turning, I can see him, and he starts, in my peripheral, he starts running off to the side to go to cut down an alleyway. So I fucking book it down the street. I get out to the fucking main street, and I'm standing there, and I go to step into the street, dude, and I hear, you know what I mean? Like blood in my shoe.
In your shoe, yeah.
I was wearing a pair of high top navy blue Chuckies, you know what I mean? With the high tops for gangsters with the stars on the side, you know what I mean? So I got those on. I stepped
Little Mario, what's up, Little Mario?
You know? And I see a bunch of blood and shit, and I'm like, oh, fuck, you know? So as I'm trying to go across the street, bro, I start feeling it, bro. I can feel it right now too. It's trip, gives me chills. Like I can feel it, like
that nauseous feeling.
Yeah, that nausea.
Dizzy.
You know what I'm saying? And I was hot in my head, but then like it was starting to go cold all down my body. It was weird as fuck. And I get across the street.
So where were you shot? Where?
On 32nd Street in Broadway.
No, where in your body? Where in your body?
In my legs. In my legs. I was shot in my
like in your thigh or your bottom calf?
My left knee, my right calf, but the bullet shot up and went into my knee on the right knee, and then in my right foot, like right against the side, like the arch of your foot. And that motherfucker lodged like up inside my ankle and shit. So he hit me with a 25 auto. Well, so the doctor thinks, because all honesty, I went back to my boy's house. I'm fucking downstairs, bro. I'm fucking, the apartment complex was across the street where my boy was at, and I'm fucking screaming for my boy, but he, you know, there's the music's blaring upstairs. How this kid heard me, I have no fucking idea, bro. It was like, God. This kid's brother looks out the window and he's like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, yo, help me, bro. And I'm like falling out. So this dude runs downstairs, picks me up, brings me back in the house. Yo, you need a fucking ambulance, bro. We need to call fucking, 911 or whatever. I'm like, no, I don't call nobody, bro. And I remember going, my mother's going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? And
you're more worried about the clothes, right?
I was tripping about dumb shit, Yeah. So I'm fucking, I wake up and this kid's got like duct tape all around my shit. Like he's got my pants cut open, and he tells me, he goes, yo, you told me not to call, so I didn't call nobody, but I ran up to 7-Eleven and I got you some fucking Neosporin. He goes, I stuck that shit inside the hole and squeezed it. And so I just sat there, bro, and I was like, oh my God, man. And it was funny as fuck, bro, because my mom and them never even knew that I had gotten shot. It wasn't until many, 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 many years later that I tore my MCL. I was working at a restaurant and I tore my MCL. And my mom had taken me to the ER, and they did scans on my knees and shit. And
you see the bullets in there?
He saw a bullet, and he goes, so, you got a bullet in your knee, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like pointing at the x-ray. My mom's like, get the fuck out of here. He doesn't have no bullet. He goes, oh, no, it's right here. So my mother looks at me, and I'm like, and my mother starts fucking freaking out, smacking me and shit in the
My cousin had the same thing, man. He got an x-ray, but it was a little different. He had a BB stuck in the middle of his hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He had something wrong with his hand. And it was like hurting him. He got an x-ray, and there was a BB like right in the middle of his hand. It was insane.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, so after that, you know what I mean? Like, I was a dumbass fucking kid though, bro. Like that type of shit, like that didn't faze me, like where I would be like, the average person would probably be like, oh man, I really got to calm down now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to calm down. For me, it was like, yo, fuck this. I need my own gun. You know what I mean? Like, I needed my own gun. You know what I mean? And then I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, how do we get a gun? And that's another crazy story, bro. Like, I got my hands on a few guns because there's one chick, right? There was this one girl, her stepfather. She hated her stepfather with a passion.
Collected guns, right?
Yeah, right. So her mother and father, this chick lived in Chandler, Arizona, right? So me and my boy are hanging out with her all night, bro, just smoking weed and shit, chilling with this girl, whatever. We're hanging out. She was kind of this heavy set chick, you know what I mean? Like we really weren't feeling her like that, but it was like whatever. And she's like, I hate my fucking stepdad, blah, 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 blah. And I remember being dumb as fuck. And I'm like, yo, if I had my own strap, I'd shoot that motherfucker. And so she's like, oh, what? All you need is a gun? Shit, my stepdad's got a bunch. We can go over there and get guns right now. So I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. You know what I mean? So me and my boy go to the house.
Before that, have you ever had a gun before that?
No.
Like, have you ever held one? Like, as a kid?
Yeah.
Because when you hold a gun as a kid, you're like, you have this power, and you're like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, bro. Absolutely. I mean, from the age of like 13 on, like I was always fucking with gunplay. I got arrested as a juvenile 19 times with gun charges. Like, it was fucking stupid. Like, it was dumb. Yeah. Like,
Crazy,
it was dumb.
bro.
But yeah, bro. But I never had my own gun. It was always like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude would be like, yo, here, go bust that shit. You know what I mean? Like, hand me a strap. And I, and then fucking.
Does Dom know who shot him and why specifically?
So
yeah, we don't want to get into all that.
I can speculate why I was shot. I can speculate why I was shot. If I'm being real, my blue Chuck Taylors spoke magnitudes in the neighborhood that I was in.
Probably.
I was in a red neighborhood wearing blue Chuck Taylors. So that would be like my guess as to why I got popped. Otherwise, the dude just could have been fucking Looney Tunes. Do I know who he was? No. No. You know what I mean? No.
Did you ever do time out there in Arizona?
Yeah. Yeah, I did a bunch of time.
So when you caught a case, what was the first case you caught, and what was the reason behind you doing time?
First case I caught was an attempted murder charge. Major case anyway. All these other charges were just like piddly shit. Group homes, you know what I mean? Some detention center shit, whatever. Nothing big. You know, not to say nothing big, but you know, aggravated assaults, you know what I mean? Beat a few people with a baseball bat, shit like that. But like the first major charge I got was an attempted murder charge. I plugged the dude in the back with a 44 mag. And that got me fucked up. Yeah.
That could have changed your whole life, man.
Yeah, it fucked me all up. Yeah. I was lucky, man. At the time, they didn't charge me as an adult. You know what I'm saying? They didn't charge me as an adult. They could have. I guess they figured that I could be rehabilitated or whatever the fucking case was. I don't know. It also helped that we were begging for interstate compact to get me the fuck out of there. Like once it was all said and done, to get me the fuck out and
did they say like he'll never come back to the state?
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
This other
like
stuff?
He's going back to New York. He's never coming back here ever again. We're out of here, you know, sort of thing. And they were like, all right, you know, so that kind of played into my favor or whatever. They knew it was a gang related thing anyways. And the dude that fucking, because the whole reason was this motherfucker came down the block, bro. And I've told this story, right? And if you've ever fucked with gun Staxx, you know, you'll hear what I'm about to tell you. This dude came down the block. He was looking for my boy, Joey. He jumps out of this little fucking like Honda Accord, bro. He's got this shotgun. So I watch him. I'm standing on my homegirl Michelle's front lawn. And I'm knowing what he's coming there for, because word around the block was that he was looking for my boy Joey. So as soon as I saw this motherfucker's car, I knew what was going on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I go walking over, like not to him, but like out into the middle of the street in case it was gonna like go there, you know. And this dude jumps out, and he, of course, gets out. He's got the gauge, dude, and he goes clack clack, right? So now I'm like, okay, shit just got fucking real, you know. So then the dude walks up to me. He's like, "Yo, where's your boy at?" And I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do, right? You're gonna come over here in like fucking 5 o'clock at night and like shoot this fucking kid in front of everybody and Gilbert?
Yeah, you're just gonna show him where he's at. Like, yeah, he's right over
and I'm
here.
just gonna be like, sure, bro. Yeah, my boy, he's right over here. Like, no, bro, not happening. So, but then this motherfucker, yo, motherfucker, you better tell me where he's at. He points the gun at me. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know, I mean, anybody who would tell you that they don't kind of freeze up when they get a gun pointed at you, you're a lying sack of shit. It ain't like Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not like Jean-Claude Van Damme or some shit. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck. So I kind of froze up. But then this motherfucker fucked up, Staxx. He went like this. Clack, clack, again.
And it threw the shell out.
There was no shell. This motherfucker didn't even have the gauge loaded.
Oh, when he pumped it, there was nothing came out.
So he pumped it the first time, bye. Then he's got to pull in the little chinga, you know what I'm saying, and pump it again. I could see his finger go up underneath it, pull it, so he could pump it again. Now he's just trying to intimidate me. But I know better.
That racking sound will usually intimidate a motherfucker.
Absolutely,
man.
And that's what he was trying to do. So now I know the gun's not loaded, so I'm over here like, yo, shoot me, motherfucker. Shoot me, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna do shit. So this motherfucker's like, you're fucking dead, Holmes. And I'm like, I'm dead, huh? And he's like, you're dead, SA, you're dead. And I'm like, bro, you're fucking white, bro. Shut the fuck up. Like, quit talking like a Mexican dude. You know what I mean? And he thought he was tough, bro. And he told me that, you know, I'm gonna come back. You're fucking dead. I was like, all right, motherfucker. I said, you know what, bro? You should have killed me because now you're fucking dead when I see you. So I loaded up with a couple of my friends and shit. My boy Topher had a 44 mag with the serial numbers fired off. We fucking rolled down, caught him slipping right out in front of a Boys and Girls Club, and boom, put one right in his fucking back. I was like, yo, fuck it. He's going to come and try to kill me. I got to get to him first. I mean, this was the mentality we had on the fucking street. It was dumb. It was ignorant. It was fucking immaturity, you know what I'm saying, behind it all. But I was like, yo, fuck him. And he lived. He fucking lived. Bullet went right fucking through his ass. Dropped him to the floor, fucked him all up, but the bullet went right through his ass. And I went a while before they even found out where the fuck I was at or who did it or whatever. Like, it was crazy shit, you know?
Were you hiding out after that happened?
I wasn't even really hiding out, bro. That's the crazy shit. Like, I just, you know what I mean, watched one too many fucking hood movies and thought, you know what I'm saying? Thought I'd just get away with that shit. I mean, bro, my first introduction into Arizona in the gang life was I'm walking down the street with like 8 kids, you know, and we're walking down the block, and this dude's like, oh, there they go, the motherfucker right there. I don't know what's going on. These are the 2 older kids that are with us. I'm not privileged to know what's going on with, like, the inside scoop. I'm just like the little white boy hang around at the time. But this motherfucker just runs up to this dude at a red light, Longmore and Southern dude, and just, boom, blows this dude's fucking brains all over the fucking windshield. And I'm staring there like, holy shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit. And all my friends like, run, motherfucker. You know what I mean? We're with a couple of girls, everybody runs off. But
that's crazy.
But what I took away from that, well, not just me, my friends, what my friends and I took away from that was not like, oh shit, they just killed this dude. What we took away from that was, oh shit, he just popped dude and got away with it. Like, nobody, the dude was around the block forever. Like, nobody ever came for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I grew up with these older kids. These kids were from Gardena. They're from Payback Crip up in fucking Gardena. And these kids would sit here and tell us like all the time, like, yo, if you gotta kill a motherfucker, like, do it with a shotgun, bro. They can't trace the fucking shotgun. Like, just grab your shells and dip. You know what I mean? Like, they're telling us fucking youngsters, you know what I mean? 13, 14 years old, they're telling us, like, if you gotta kill a motherfucker, shoot him in the face and fucking grab your shells and smash, you know? Like, one dude was like, this one dude, Patty Whack, used to be like, yo, that's why I roll with this. You know what I mean? He had a fucking a double barrel break shotgun sawed off. So, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't eject the shell. And that's what these motherfuckers did. So that's like that was my influence. So for me, it was like, yo, if you're gonna come after me, bro, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no 2 ways about this shit, you know? And it was also the bravado and the machismo about the whole thing. Like, oh, you gonna let the motherfucker come down to our neighborhood, pull a shotgun on you, and you ain't gonna do shit? You know, that's what my friends would have done anyway. You know,
bro, I was in the gang when I was younger, and I loved it, man. I used to embrace that shit.
It was crazy, right?
Fullest. Yeah.
Same here.
And the people I used to deal with, they loved me, man, because I was about my shit. I would be there doing my thing, man.
Right?
Any chance I got. That was me in the 90s, early 90s, mid 90s.
What street gangs you run with?
I was in 20 Love.
Was just like a local hood?
Well, so out here there's a gang called the Los Solitos, and they're really big out in Hartford and the surrounding area. And 20 Love started as a black gang in prison. And they were protecting each other in prison. And once all the leaders got out and they came into the street, they started accepting everybody. So they got really big back in the day. In the 90s, they were huge out here. 20 Love is huge, crazy, man.
Yeah, so we like I when I came up, I was with 8th Avenue Payback Crips. We were associated with West Side City Boot Hill Crip. You know, even Broadway gangsters used to fuck with all them. So, you know what I mean? Like, we have rivals in us with the Vista Bloods and all these other motherfuckers, 5th Street and all this other shit. So 18 E-Town projects, you know what I mean? Dupa Villa projects. Like, it was crazy shit, but that was like a real thing. And they emulated the fuck out of California out there. You know what I mean? So they tried
Yeah.
to bang even hard, like even harder than they did in California, just to try and make a point. Like, yo, we're Arizona, but like we're here. You know what I mean? And it was just nuts, bro. It was just nuts. You know, but like I said, bro, real talk. Like, I'm not afraid. I'm not scared to say the shit, or whatever. We just watched one too many fucking hood movies, man. That was really what it was. We listened to fucking Eazy-E. We listened to fucking Dre. We, you know what I'm saying? South Central Cartel, fucking, you know what I'm saying?
So there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids out there that are just watching that type of stuff and emulating the gang culture.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like listening to Biggie and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who shot you? Like, like. It was just, we got desensitized to the shit. You know what I mean? We didn't think nothing of it. Like, shooting a motherfucker was just, that's what you did, because, hey, I'm
and eventually you go to prison, and
yeah, and then the walls come crashing down. You know what I mean? Then the walls come fucking crashing down, because you go to fucking prison. You know what I mean? And then like, everything that you knew, loved, and cared about is now thrown back in your face as a complete fucking negative. Ooh, what do you mean you were part of a fucking Crip gang?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you're white. You know what I mean? What do you mean?
Shout out to Cuzzo, man. Cuzzo's one of the realest dudes I know, man. And he bangs Crip. And he's not ashamed of who he is and what he is. Nice. And he wants to help people. He figures if he gets out of the organization and then tries to tell people don't join a gang, they're not gonna listen to him.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, real talk. I mean, I always knew I was going to prison, Staxx. I always knew I was going to prison, man. I remember walking through with a group of my friends and shit, walking through the halls in junior high school, and my boy was like, "Yo, you need to slow the fuck down, man. You're gonna end up fucking dead." And I'm like, yo, man, whatever, And he's like, what's the end game for you? And I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I figure I'd do all this shit, go crazy, go buck wild. If I live through it, I'll go teach kids how not to do it. And then he goes, why don't you do that now? Why don't you do that now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, trying to talk me out of it. Like, why don't you tell kids that are in street gangs, like right now, like how bad it is, Because this was like right after I got shot and stuff like that. And I was like, man, fuck that, bro. Ain't nobody gonna listen to me. I ain't even been to prison yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, those words literally left my mouth. Like, I ain't even been to prison yet. Like, it was something that was glorified in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, I talked to Big Lou about this same thing. Like, Big Lou talked about that as well. Like, how it was like, that was like an achievement to go to prison, like to be a gang.
Yeah, and then when you get out, everyone's like, what was it like in there? What did you guys do? And it's like a what is it? Coming of age, like it's a rite of passage. Rite of passage.
Exactly. And you know what was even crazier too was like afterwards, like after when I had been locked up and done my state time, got my DOC number, all that shit, and I had gotten released and got out and all that stuff. And I had gotten arrested for a threatening and intimidating charge. It was some bullshit, some coward ass motherfucker told me he was gonna come to my house. He was gonna fucking do something to me or whatever.
Was that in New York or?
No, that was here. That was in Arizona. But he had come after me and said that he was gonna do some shit. And I'm like, bro, you ain't gonna do shit. You know what I mean? So he said he was, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, bro, come over here, bro. I'll cave your fucking head in. You know what I mean? Like, I'll cave your motherfucking head in. Well, he called the cops on me. And he's like, yo, this dude's a criminal, you know what I mean? Like, this dude's a felon. He's been in a street gang. His family's, this and that, whatever, all this other bullshit. And he says, so the cops, as soon as they bring up my name, bro, as soon as my name shows up, I don't get one or two cops. I get 6, 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they go extra. They go above and beyond. Yeah, they go. It is a badge of honor to go to prison when you're a young kid and you're involved with the gang. Yeah, it's a badge of honor. Hell yeah, it is.
They take me down to the police station or whatever, the precinct shit, and they're like, oh, blah 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 blah. So they do all my shit, fingerprint me, whatever, all that bullshit, and then my wife pays the bail, gets me the fuck out, right? So now the judge is like, yo. He's like, this is some bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you 48 hours. So I was like, all right, whatever. He's like, turn yourself in, you know what I mean? Tomorrow, whatever, you do your 48 hours. So I turned myself in. And as soon as I walk in, they sent me to Tent City, the infamous Tent City. You know what I mean?
Oh, you went there?
Yeah.
With with pink boxers,
Yeah,
right?
with the pink drawers and the fucking stripes. Yeah, I was in there. So
really, how long did they give you in the tent city, man?
I was just in there for 48 hours.
Oh.
I got transferred out there though when I was locked up pending my case. I got transferred out there. I went there and I went to Towers and back to Madison County because fuck that shit. But yeah, so they put me in Tent City, and as soon as I rolled through, they're like, "Oh, you go over there." And I'm like, "What's over there?" And you got to go through this like main gate area, and then it's like another subgated area, and then a smaller subgated area. So they send me into this small subgated area, and I'm like, "Yo, why the fuck am I in here?" And they're like, "Oh, because you already got a doc number. We can't put you with the rest of these motherfuckers." So now, as I'm walking in there, I'm with nothing but dudes that have done DOC time. So, you know what I mean? They keep you segregated, or at least that's what Sheriff Joe used to do.
Joe Pyle.
Yeah, Joe Pyle, punk ass. So I'm in there, and yeah, fucking bullshit. Okay, Staxx. Yeah. So you see this picture right here? Okay. So back in this corner, you see they got this little in the top left-hand side corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they used to put DOC. And then there was a tower up there on the other side too. So yeah, that's fucking crazy. I don't want to ever see that shit again. But yeah, so they put me in there, and it was funny though, dude. All the other dudes would come up and grab onto the chain link, and they treated you like you were a fucking god, bro. Like because you had done DOC time. And they'd be like, "Hey, Wood, you need any tobacco? You let me know. I'm your guy." I'm like, "Bro, I'm here for 48 hours. Like, stay off my dick. Like, I'm hitting the rack. I don't want to hear from nobody." You know what I mean? Like,
you got a 48-hour bid, and these dudes.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to hear from nobody.
Fresh fish on the yard. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Fuck out of here with this shit. You know, and they're like, hey, New York. Hey, New York. Hey, man, you need anything? I could get you a honey bun over there. And I'm like, man, fuck off. Like, I don't want your fucking stinking ass honey bun.
Yeah, you know not to accept that shit, right? No candy bars, no honey buns. Don't accept no gifts, man.
Bro, I was in that motherfucker. I was mad pissed because I had let my wife down. Because I had told my wife that I would never go back to jail ever again. That I would never do no shit like that. And I really was trying to change my life around at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'll never get arrested ever again. Unfortunately, you know, that little bullshit threatening and intimidating charge happened. The motherfucker's just lucky, though, that I was off of probation, because had I actually gotten my presumptive, went back for 10 years, I'd have killed that motherfucker right where he stood at over a threatening and intimidating charge.
Do they have that out in Arizona where once you get in trouble and you get out of prison, if you get in trouble in a certain amount of time? Florida has that.
If you are active on paper and you have outstanding like outstanding, you know, time, like they called it your presumptive, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, absolutely. Like I caught my plea, but my plea had a
What's up, Ray Road Dog? How you doing, man?
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, my plea had like stipulations to it, like if you violate probation and your parole, because I ran them both concurrent. So they were like, if you violate, you go back for 10 years, no question. That's what's hanging over your head, 10 years. So it was like, fuck, man, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do that shit, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? The time that I had already done and shit, like the time that got robbed from me and, you know, everything, all the drama and everything that I went through in there, and my parents and all this stuff, bro. I was like, man, fuck this. Like, I'm never doing this shit again. And that was kind of the thing, was like, because me and my wife have been friends since I moved out to Arizona. You know what I mean? Like, we were always friends. We didn't even start dating until I got out. But one of her hesitations, one of her things that kind of like, you know, made her a little hesitant. Well, not even a little, like a lot.
How many times you been married? Just once?
Yeah, no, I'm with the same girl, bro. 4 kids. Fucking love this.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been in love with my wife since I was like 15 years old.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to actually love her till I was 19. You know what I'm saying? Like 20 years old. But
because you have to go through all this bullshit, right?
I had to go through all this bullshit, bro. And what was the one thing where she was like, "Listen, dude, like, I want to believe that you're a changed person. You look great. Everything that's coming out of your mouth sounds good. You know what I mean? Like your talent is at its peak. You know what I mean? Like you everything about you sounds great. but I also know that you just got out of prison and you learned how to manipulate the fuck out of people. You know what I mean? Like I know you had girls in there that you were writing and shit to send you money and whatever, because we all had to do that shit, right? Like you'd be a lying sack of shit if you said you didn't. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. You got to. You know, they love the appeal. Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about, Dom. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about, right? So, but my wife was like, "Yo, look, here's all I want from you. Like, don't fuck around on me." And don't put me through this shit, because I've been sitting here dealing with this with your parents, just as my friend. You know, she used to go to my house like every other day and just hang out with my mother and hang out with my father to just try and keep them all occupied.
Just let them know that it's going to be all right.
Right. My friends would all go to my house. You know what I mean? My friends would go over. They'd eat dinner. They'd play cards with my family and shit. My mom would go crying, run into my bedroom, go smell my clothes. The girls would go with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm talking about. It was fucking crazy shit. You know what I mean? But my wife was always one of those people that was there. And she was like, look, dude, I'm like hesitant. Like, I don't, you know, I know my mother's going to fucking hate this. Like, I don't really, you know, she's never going to want me to be with you. Like, you know.
You don't blame her, right? For the
No, I can't. No, I can't.
No.
I can't. And for the first few years, I mean, I would have left me too, bro. Like I should have never have gotten with her at the time that I did, because I was still not acclimated to being an adult and being, you know what I'm saying? Like being out. I was institutionalized like a motherfucker, bro. You know what I mean? For like a solid, like, you know, basically 4-year period. Like I didn't see anybody. I really didn't do shit. I was in and out of court or in and out of jail the whole fucking time. Like, so I really didn't have a whole lot going on. You know what I mean? And when I got out, when I first got out,
when you were that old, what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were that age, man? When you were young, what did you want to be?
I wanted to be a fucking gang leader.
No, like I'm talking about real life. Like, what did you really want?
Like if you would have asked me at the time when I was going to prison, like what I wanted to be, I would have told you I wanted to be a gang leader. What I wanted to be,
like, well, you know, a firefighter. I want to be.
Yeah, like, no, I wanted to be a lawyer. I really wanted to be a lawyer because my grandfather used to tell me all the time, like, you know, he'd laugh because I would talk back so much, and he would laugh. And he would be like, I want to smack him in the mouth so bad. You know what I mean? But listen to how well he's arguing his bullshit point. You know what I mean? He used to tell me all the time, like, you should be a fucking lawyer. And honestly, I was so naive, bro. When I first got out of the juvenile center after doing a bid for the attempted murder, I was like, I want to become a lawyer. And everybody's like, you're out of your fucking brain, bro. They don't let fucking felons become lawyers or whatever. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to beat this case anyway, so I'm not worried about it. I'm going to beat this adult case, and these motherfuckers is going to be ha-ha on you, bitch. Like, you let me out of prison just to charge me as an adult, you dumb motherfuckers, you know? Like, you know, I'm going to put egg all over your face. And that just didn't happen. It didn't happen. Like, they were making sure I got locked up, even though they didn't have shit for a case. They made whatever they could stick, and they did it. You know what I mean? They forced my hand. They had me up against the wall with 80 years. So it was like, what am I going to do? You know, but I should have known, right? Like, but again, my naivety, I should have known better, because they were like, oh, we got you on all these different charges. We got you like hemmed up. It's like 88 fucking years or some shit. And then all of a sudden they're like, but if you want to settle right now, we can do it for 15 to 20. Then I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing 15 to 20. And then they're like, all right, how about 10 to 15? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing 10 and 15 for something I didn't do. All right, 7 to 10, whatever. Nope. Okay, 5 to 7. Nope. What about 3 to 5? No. All right, what about 1 to 4? And I'm like, I'm listening.
Shout out to Liz.
Is probation on the table? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a possibility for probation? And they were like, yeah, you can get probation.
Are you locked up at this point? Are you?
No, they let me out because they had to. They couldn't hold me because they were charging me as an adult. So because of that, I was remanded. So now I'm considered an adult. You know what I mean? At 17, I was an adult. They've officially charged me with the crime when I was 15. So that's what kind of set the whole thing in motion. Was even though I caught this other charge that put me away as a juvenile, they never actually pressed the charges onto me until I was 17. That's when they pressed the charges onto me. So, but they fucked themselves because they had me for fucking years. They had me for years.
Yeah.
But I was going in a juvenile facility. And so then they were like, well, now they got no choice. Now they got to let me out because now I'm an adult. So they got no choice. They have to kibosh the fucking probation. They have to kibosh everything because that's all juvenile. So now they're like, well, now we got this.
You can't go back. You can't go back and charge them.
You can't go back. You can't go back.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And if they did, they would have had to dissolve that charge. But they thought they had me. They thought they were going to get me to be stupid enough to go to trial where they could put up like a 12-man Mormon jury and just fucking hang me from the fucking gallows. You know what I mean? But I wasn't that dumb. You know what I mean? Like my parents went, got a fucking private investigator. You know, they did all this different shit and blew the spot up. So they really didn't have much on me. So they had no choice. Their case basically dissolved. So they were grasping at straws. And my attorney was like, listen, Dom, but here's the thing, though. All they got to do is find you guilty of one of these charges, and it's stackable times 3 in the state of Arizona. So you're fucked. So that's 3 kids, stackable times 3. So one aggravated assault charge carries a 5-year sentence minimum. That's 5 times 3 times 3. You're doing 30 fucking years. I'm like, what? He's like, easy doing 30 years before you fucking. I'm like, on an ag assault charge? And he's like, you see what I'm saying? This is how they got you over a fucking barrel. So I was like, fuck it, man. Cop the fucking plea. I copped the plea from 1.75 up to 4. I wound up doing 23 and change months on that one. Got out, did a 4.75 years on intensive probation. 1.75 of it with a bracelet. The rest of it was fucking.
Were you trying to skate by on probation, or were you like trying to? Were you?
Bro, I was fucking nutty in squirrel shit on probation. Bro. I rode the fucking line, bro, really bad. Like I think back at it now, and I'm like, I had Jesus Christ himself helping me through that because there's no way. Like, bro, I should have been locked up a handful of times while I was on probation, bro. I mean, one of the craziest incidents, like,
bro, Tony Pizza's a bum that lives in a car. You don't want to know who he is. He's a loser, man.
Yo, ignore these motherfuckers, man. But
for real.
One of the
dude lives in his car. No, he doesn't respect anyone. He disrespects everybody.
Elizabeth Coppola, she said, who wants to know, who wants to be like Tony Pizza?
Nobody.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with being like Dom. You know what I mean?
I'm good with being like anyone. I want to be like Bill Staxx, man.
Yeah, there you go. Right. I want to be just like me.
Thank you, Gianni, man. I really appreciate everyone who's rocking out with us tonight, man. I appreciate
that's
all
awesome,
of you.
Man. Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, I love Gianni, man. That's
shout out to your cousin Paul too, man.
Yeah, my boy Paul. Yeah, I love you, kid. But yeah, I mean, like I did stupid shit, bro. Like I was ignorant, you know what I mean? I was first out of prison. My friends came over to the house, were like, yo, the kid who's telling on you, the kid who got you put away, he's down over here right now, running his fucking mouth, bragging about how he got you, got you locked up. Like, because word was flowing through the neighborhood, like, yo, Dom got out, you know what I mean? So
dude, probably scared as hell, man.
Oh, bro, dude. So I conned my dad, right? I conned my dad into fucking taking me over there. So I'm like, yo, Dad, do me a favor. I got to go stop by. I got to see Joey and them, right? I'm with my boy Tim, who came over to give me the fucking word, right? So my dad's like, yeah, but you're not supposed to leave the fucking house. And I'm like, yeah, don't trip. Don't worry about it. Like, it'll be all right. My father's like, you're crazy. I'm like, dude, I know how much time I have before this thing alerts. I got a full 15 minutes before
Thank you, sis. I love that. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Yeah. So my dad's like, all right, we'll just jump in the truck. We're going down there real fucking quick. So we're driving.
No clue you got a problem, right?
Yeah. So my dad used to carry a Colt Trooper 357 Magnum revolver behind his seat in like behind the seat of his truck in a fucking holster. You know what I mean? So we're driving there and I'm leaned over and I got my hand on the fucking grip of this bitch. I flicked the fucking thing open and I got full access to this fucking pistol. And I know where my father's got in here. These are melon poppers, bro. These are fucking hollow point tungsten tips. I'm ripping your fucking head off. So I'm waiting. I got my left hand on the fucking gun.
Aren't you glad you didn't shoot him in the head, man?
Oh, bro, you have no idea. Yeah, I can't. No, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like retarded. I jumped out of the car and grabbed this fucking kid and put the fucking gun right in his mouth. I was like, talk now, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. Like, and my friends are like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker because I had a lot of hate in me. You know what I'm saying? From them putting me away because not only did they snitch me out, but they lied to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was bad. That was bad. But all's well that ends well, man. I learned really soon after to count my blessings and to realize like my life could have been changed in a much worse way. That I was finally out on the streets, and that I had a real opportunity to change my life. That being that way wasn't a necessity. I didn't need to be like that anymore. And that was partially due to my friends. When I was gone, I realized how much of a bad influence I was on a lot of my friends. You know what I mean? I started to I really was like the little ringleader that fucking caused all the, a lot of the problems. You know what I'm saying?
Who's got to go in the bathroom, man? Who's got to go in there?
Toss him in there.
Let me know, man.
I was part of the problem. You know what I mean? I was probably the problem with my friends. And when I got out, a lot of my friends were really tame. They were really, they were like turning for the better. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were really trying to not get involved in stupid shit. I mean, a lot of them would have rode, with me till the fucking wheels fell off. But I was like, they kind of, now it was like going back full circle where they're influencing me. And they're like, yo, you really want to fucking like live like this, or would you rather have a nice car? We can get you hooked up, with a girl. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Wouldn't you rather have that life? And I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Or do you want to? Or are you hell bent on killing these 3 motherfuckers that put you in prison? Because if that's what you're gonna do, go do it. But just letting you know, like,
throw your whole life away.
We're not here for you again. You know what I mean? We're not gonna. Don't call. Don't write letters. Don't involve us in shit, because we're not gonna be here for you. You know what I mean? And so I owe it to my friends for that. You know what I mean? So shout out, to Joey and Tim and Josh and them. God damn it.
A lot of my friends stayed with me when I went to prison when I was a young man too, man. First time I went, it was like 2.5 years, and they stuck by me. They wrote me letters, everything.
Yeah, they used to. Yeah, my boys used to do that. Put money on my books. You know what I mean? Go.
What's up, man?
How you doing, bro? Which was cool. I got a couple of visits from my friends and stuff, which was dope. Those that could come see me, ones that weren't like, on paper and stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, and then right after that, I was able to convince my wife that picking me was the best idea for her. And,
yeah, that's the plan, right?
Yeah, right. And then shortly after that, we had our first son. I say shortly after that, I mean, like, she got pregnant 3 weeks into our fucking relationship. We wasted no fucking time. It was kind of crazy. She got pregnant.
Are you guys same exact age? Are you same age?
Yeah, she's actually her birthday's in March. I'm in July, so she's like 6 months older than me or whatever. But yeah, we're the same age. So, we grew up together. We grew up with the same knucklehead kids smoking the same bags of weed. I used to get bags of weed. She used to fucking sit there and pull the seeds and stems out and shit, clean our bud for us and shit. Her and the other girls. Like, yeah, that's just how it was. You know what I mean? We were a group of tight-knit friends. There was like 30 of us, and we all
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
That's awesome. You guys are awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's good looking out. I'm so glad my boys getting shown some love tonight. That's awesome. So yeah, but I mean, I straightened out. I straightened out my life, man, and I changed. And my wife gave birth to my first son, and that was like
when you were in the mix of the bullshit, right? When you were in the mix of everything, were you like thinking at all, like, damn, I want to change my life? Like did you have the inkling at all to change?
No, I was full bore, bro. I was full on.
So when do you think that really changed? When you started having kids?
My first son, and a big influence of mine was my boy James. My boy James Nash, bro. Shout outs to James Nash. Because he actually could be in here. But shout out.
Buzzo's doing great, man. I talked to him. I spoke with his girl today. He's just sick, but he's doing good.
Well, yeah, he kind of taught me how to be a man on the street. You know what I mean? Like, basically like in my recovery. You know what I'm saying? From being a criminal.
They said don't drink your soda in front of Dom. He can't.
I know, bro. I had literally a mouthful of this shit, and he's over here like, yeah, I know, you bastard Yankees. I love
my bad. man, here.
I love them, bro. Yeah, I've been trying. Yo, this is like the first like little bit of soda that I had all day today. I've been
Why
really.
would you try to stay away from it?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from it, bro. Because somebody told me once, like, oh, you'd be surprised how many pounds you could shed off just cutting out soda or whatever.
Sugar,
so,
man.
Yeah, going to water. So I'm like, all right. So I've been doing that. But the problem with it is now it pissed my brains out, and and I need the caffeine. I'm like going through caffeine withdrawal. So I've been smoking a lot more cigarettes, which is bad. That's counterproductive. But everything's a balance, man. We'll get it figured out. One thing at a time.
Eventually, man. So I want to know what made you want to start coming on YouTube and doing this type of stuff, man.
So, okay, that's a really good question, man. Thank you for asking that one. That was a good question. I kind of always wanted to do it, man. I used to fucking, play video games with my cousin Paul, and I would always say, man, damn, if anybody was recording our antics on here, like, you know what I mean? Our voice chats and shit, bro, like it would be insane. Like people would just trip out about the shit we talk about. And so I came at Paulie and I was like, yo, man, we should do this. This was like a couple of years ago. I was like, yo, we should do this shit. And he's like, yeah, all right. Neither one of us were really all that serious about it, but I always kind of had it in the back of my head that I wanted to sit and talk with people or whatever. And then I made the transition from living in Arizona to living in Florida. And I realized real quick that I didn't have anybody out here. I got my father. That's it. Like, I don't have friends. I don't got nobody. I mean, I do have a friend, but he lives way far south. He's like 3.5 hours. That's just not.
You live near the water and shit?
Yeah, I live on the coast, bro. Yeah, I live in a beautiful spot. I'm not going to front. Like, I love where I live. It's gorgeous. But,
keto diet, Dom, it works so fast.
Try the keto diet, Dom. Yeah, but then I'm gonna be all flabby and shungaz underneath the, all.
Nah, you gotta work out, man. It'll all you can transform the fat into
I just
muscle.
want to get healthier. I don't even care. It's not about like the way I look or nothing like that.
Then don't worry about that flabby.
Yeah, I don't care about none of that shit. I just want to feel better. I want to get get some pressure off my knees and whatever.
I'm sure your wife won't mind.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
I gained a lot of weight, man. When I was in prison, I gained. I weighed 230 when I got out. I was big.
Did you?
Man.
Oh shit! For me, it was a total opposite, bro. Like I rolled with the fucking white boys, man, and they had us on a fucking regiment, bro. I used to have to run every other day, fucking cardio.
Yeah, but I wasn't fat. I wasn't fat, man. I was working out. Like I was big.
I wasn't either. Oh, you got big? Yeah. Well, see, the thing is you know what it was? I went in there and I wasn't like really all that tone or anything. I've always been built like a brick shit house. Oh, my own. Yeah, dude. Whoa. That's
a big boy. I'm a big boy right there.
Yeah. For real though. But yeah, dude, like, I don't know. I with YouTube, man, I just started watching like Michael Francis and shit like that. And then they led me down to Jimmy and I saw Jimmy's stuff. And I was like flipping out because I read an article about Jimmy and his friends, the Bath Avenue Boys, over in a Rolling Stone magazine when I was locked up. And I found that shit to be interesting as fuck.
Yeah, a lot of people do, man. Yeah, out of all of them, that story is incredible.
This was right after they did that fucking that bank robbery and shit that they got popped and everything. Because Jimmy clarified that for me. It was like the 99-2000, and that was like when it was going down. So so that's like when I read this article. But so I always wanted to find out more about this dude. So now I see this dude and he's on here and I'm like, no fucking way. So I started following Jimmy. Through following Jimmy, I found a bunch of other people. Some people weren't really my flavor, man. I really didn't pay attention to them. Watched them like once, was like, whatever. And then I came across FBS. And I was like, oh, I like his show. He's pretty solid and everything. And then I saw all the beefs that they were in with A-Light and all this stuff. At first, it wasn't like, from what I saw, wasn't like content creator versus content creator. It was like them versus like A-Light and shit, which I was all about because John A-Light, I knew for years, was a fucking scumbag fuck. So
he wants to be Italian, man.
He wants it so bad, bro. He wants it so bad.
And now that everyone knows he's a rat and this and that, now he wants to be Albanian, and they don't even want him.
No. And so it's hilarious. So Anyway, I reached out to my cousin Paulie and I'm like, yo, dude, you gotta check this shit out. And he's like, what? And I'm like, all these fucking mob guys, dude. Like, it's insane. Like, all these old mob guys and shit, they're on here. I'm like, Sammy's on here, Jimmy's on here. You know, all these people are on. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, bro. And you got all these guys that do the commentary and they're all fucking going off on A-Light and everything. So I turned my cousin on to this. He's like, dude, this is solid fucking gold, kid. Like, I love this shit. Like, we were laughing. It was funny.
Yeah.
All the information, everything was cool. It was awesome. And so the next thing you know, my cousin hits me up and he's like, yo, bro, I'm going to do an interview on FBS's channel. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, all right, you know, well, that's what's up. So went and watched him and everything. And this sick bastard's in there telling him, like, yo, I'm cool, but you need to watch my cousin. You need to talk to my cousin. My cousin Dom, he can tell you crazy stories. Like, he lived it, bro. This kid's fucking nuts. And so Chris was like, all right, you know, we'll bring him on. So the night I was moving into my house, man, I moved into my house. We just moved in all the boxes into my house and everything.
Yeah.
And, my cousin's like, yo, Chris called. He wants you on. Get on right now. So I threw the little laptop down on my deep freezer. And I'm like, bink. And I just went on. And when I did that, the feedback that everybody gave to me was just insane. You know what I mean? Like, everybody was just like, yo, I love your stories. Like, oh my God, you know, you're awesome. You should do your own show. You should do your own show. But like I said, I always had that in the back of my head that I was going to do something. I just didn't know how. And I guess I was kind of under the impression that you had to have like all this equipment. You had to have like a team and shit, thinking like, you know, like Sammy, you know, like these guys. I didn't realize all it takes is a fucking laptop and a fucking jabberjaw to get on here and do your shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck
consistency
it,
and some balls a little bit. If you want to show your face.
You gotta have some thick skin and be like, fuck it. So that's what I did. And I posted up, and if you watch some of my early shit, like I had boxes in the background. I gave two shits. I didn't care what anybody thought or said. I didn't give a fuck. That. Yeah, my shit was all jacked up, but I loved it. I fell in love with it, and I was like, yo, this is awesome because now I feel like I have my friends back. You know what I'm saying? Like I went from Arizona where everybody knew me. I could call up anybody at any time and go hang out with 20, 30 fucking people easy, no problem. Where I move out here and I don't know a living soul besides my father. So, you know, now I get on here and I meet all these badass people. I've always been about the comments, Staxx. I really never really gave much of a fuck about who was on the screen talking. It was the people in the comments that I cared about. And so you watch certain shows, and certain shows will bring on a certain type of audience, and they're kind of just, you know, they're cockbags, dude. You know, they're fucking, you know, bunch of toolboxes and shit. But then you got some shows like Chris's show and stuff like that.
What's up, Justice, man? Angry Wheels in the building.
Right. You, Chris, Gunsmoke, people like that, where you have like genuine people that come in there and watch you. You know what I'm saying? And so I gravitated towards these types of channels because I like the people that were in the comments. Well, now the beautiful thing is that all those people that I was hanging out with in the chats are now watching me. So I get to talk to them and we're friends. Excuse me. I consider every single one of them my friend. You know what I mean? They're all good people. They got nothing but love for me. And so
thank you, AJ, man. I appreciate that $10, man.
Yeah, really. Dude, that's awesome, bro. I'm so happy for you, man. You know, like Sven that's in here and Miss Can't Be Wrong and Gianni and
in that Pinkville.
Yeah, Pounding
Richard Darlings.
Yeah. You know, all these
lot of good people in here
are like my buddies, man. They're my good friends and they're there for me. I can dump my shit off onto them and they love it. You know what I'm saying? Like they give me back the feedback. I never felt like I called up some people that I knew and was like, yo, bro, I got COVID, man. I feel like shit. They were like, damn, that sucks, bro. Yo, how's Florida, though, bro? Like, you been to the beach and shit? I'm like, bro, I'm dying, man. I don't give a fuck about the beach. I'm dying.
Fuck the beach, man. Bro, I go bar. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? I sit in this chair right here, Staxx, and I go to them and I'm like, hey, guys, I'm sorry. As you can tell, I'm not on my A game. I got COVID. Bro, the love that came.
Instagram blowing
How
up.
you
Emails,
doing?
everything.
What's going on?
Yeah, are you okay? I'm praying for you. Da 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 da. I'm like, bro, these are friends. These are people. They give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, they don't realize how much, like, I attribute them to getting me over a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, real friends don't care about money. They don't care about monetary gain, and they don't care about what you're gonna look like in front of other people. You know?
Right. I love my YouTube subs, bro. I love them with all my heart. They're the kindest, nicest fucking people, and I tell them all the time.
They're the whole backbone to the show, man.
They are, bro. They are.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They are. You know what I'm saying? And I would never take advantage of them. I would never ask them for anything. They've always been amazing people to me, bro. Absolutely amazing people to me, man. And I love them for that. And I love this YouTube because now I can say, you know, guys like Jimmy Calandra and stuff are my friend. You know what I mean? You know how much of a fucking mind trip it was to have Jimmy call my phone and be like, "Hey, Dom, what's going on?"
Yeah. Me too, man. I was like,
you're calling
at first,
me,
I was like, what the fuck?
Like, what are you doing calling me, bro? Like, I'm fucking nobody. You know what I mean? But he's like, yo, I like you. I like your show. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Ali.
It trips me out. It trips me the fuck out. But YouTube gave me this, so I know I gave you the long-winded version of why I got on here, but I kind of summed it up with why I came on here and why I love it. At the same time, I love this shit, bro.
Jimmy Calandra says my two favorite guys,
there
man. Shout out to Jimmy, man.
Wow, salute, Kojim. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's therapy for me. It's something that I look forward to. You know what I'm saying? I love these people, bro. I love doing this. It's awesome. And I don't give a shit whether it pays me or it don't pay me, or if I ever get monetized or I don't. I care,
man, because I'm in it for the money. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm trying to help people, but I want a career out of this shit. It's not like I want to make a living. I want to make a good living for my family, and I want to help people, man.
Right. Well, hey, listen, that's cool. Thankfully, listen, dude, I am blessed outside of this to have a career. I'm an HVAC technician. You know what I mean? I make great money.
I'm a content creator on YouTube.
There you go. Hey, God bless you, bro. I mean, listen, if it ever came down to that, where I had the opportunity to do this full time and not have to worry about it and pay bills and do all that with this, all right, I'll let it go organically. But as far as like me, striving for that, that's not really what I'm here for. I'm here for the friendships. I'm here for the good time. I'm here to kill time and all this. Dude, I've never been embraced like this. When I tell my stories, most people, they're like, they get weirded out by it. Like, oh shit, and then it makes them question, like,
but some people relate to it. They've been through similar situations.
But you're a good guy now, right? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. And they're like you're not gonna you're good, right? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm fuck. What do you mean? Yeah,
I'm not gonna lose your cool, rip my head off, right?
Have never treated me that way, bro. No one has ever treated me that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've always embraced me. They've always been like, Dom, you're good people, bro. You're awesome. Like, we love you, and da 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 da. And I love them back for it, man. It's an amazing feeling to have these people, on my side, in my corner. It's great. And the reason why I gravitated towards your channel too was because I saw the same essence in your chats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw some familiar faces and stuff. A lot of people I don't know and don't recognize, but it was the same sentiment, same level of respect. You know what I mean? They love you. They love you, Staxx. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of them do. Like, my number got doxxed, man. My phone don't blow up like that because people got respect for me. And
unfortunately, mine did too. Mine did too. So to those of you out there that had my phone number and it's not working anymore, just know some punk piece of shit doxed me. So I had to change my number. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. But I did get doxed. So just so you guys know.
Yo, Dom, this dude's saying, Frankie, you'll get monetized. And it's only a matter of time, man. You just got dedication. You gotta be consistent, and that's it.
Yeah,
consistent, man.
And I'm planning on it, but I'm not letting the thought of being monetized be my driving force. I'm looking at it like, okay, so if I got to get to 1,000 to get monetized, well, that's awesome. I got 1,000 friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, I got 1,000 people to hang out and talk with. You know, be honest with you, if you asked me about it, like if you said to me, what's your biggest gripe with YouTube, like with your channel, not with YouTube, because we could go on and on about all the drama and bullshit, but what's the biggest gripe of my channel is I don't got enough people that want to jump in and talk to me. I wish I had more people that wanted to just hop on and talk to me like you do. You know what I mean? Like you are right now. You know what I mean?
What do you mean, man? I get the same amount as you do, probably.
Well, I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Amount, man.
No, but I mean, like, I got people in here. I would love to know their stories. Like, I talk to all these people. I would love to know their stories. You know, like I would love to, like, say, get like Gianni on or something like that, or, you know, Miss Can't Be Wrong or something, and let them come in and talk to me, because I would love to know their story. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm in it for. So if that would be my only gripe, was that, you know, my channel is so one-sided with me telling them everything and them not telling me nothing back. So, but hey, that's just me, man. You know.
So, yo, what are your plans for the future with your channel now?
I got a couple of interviews coming up that I'm really hoping people are going to enjoy. You know, I just want to grow, man. I want to network. I want to grow. I want to, you know, meet new people and hopefully bring better content to the channel, stuff like that.
Is there like a direction you want to go?
I'm still trying to figure that out, Staxx. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm still trying to, like, you know, I'm kind of wanting it to go so, like, I'm on this, like, organic kick of letting it all just evolve organically, that I don't really want to pin it to any one thing and force it to stay in one area or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't want to just go, okay, I'm a mob channel. Like, okay, that's all I do is I'm a mob channel with it. I don't want it to be that way. And I also don't want it to be like,
yo, Mike's chatting with Staxx, chatting with Staxx. I'm chatting with everybody, man. You know?
Yeah. You know, because every conversation that you ever have hanging out with your friends on the block or on the stoop or whatever, it's always different, right? It's never the same thing. And that's kind of what the vibe of my channel is. If you can imagine walking up to the stoop, plopping your ass down, lighting a fucking cigarette or something.
Yeah, and everyone's chilling, drinking out on the stoop, just talking, bullshitting.
That's me. That's my channel. That's where I want it to go. And so the more and more we push, you know, and the more and more we strive to grow this thing, I want to bring more and more people to the stoop, man. You know, because I want to hear their stories too, and I want more people to hear my story, because I've heard from people, man. People have sent me emails who have like, yo, you know, I showed your video when you talked about this and that to my nephew, and you know, it made an impact on him. You know what I mean? Like, I could see it really is changing him and whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, like it's just amazing, you know? And it makes me want to do more outreach stuff. It makes me want to do more things. Like, this showed me that, like, the words that come out of my mouth matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people actually listen, bro. They actually care. You know,
it's because you mean what you say and you say what you mean, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And when you say things with conviction, you know, people listen. And so it makes me want to reach out to more kids. I want to work with kids. I know it sounds really cliche and stuff, because a lot of guys want to do that. But
but you're not up here doing shit just for views. And
I'm not. Definitely not. I'm not trying to sell baseball bats. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about that bullshit. Like, I'm trying to, you know, I really want to see kids do better. And I know that the generations have changed. Like, generations like ours, bro, like, that's not really a thing anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're really not. But I want to encourage kids to, you know, get out more. You know what I mean? Be adventurous, see the world. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall victim to this, like, atheistic mindset. You know what I'm saying? That's going around the world. Like, choose your own path, choose your own views or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of kids do that. A lot of kids are being told nowadays that God doesn't exist and all these other things. And these poor little kids, dude, they don't have nothing to look forward to. They don't have
guidance. They don't have, man. They need guidance.
So I want to kind of instill some of that in these people, you know, in these kids, you know, because I'm raising my own kids, man. My oldest will be 18, you know, in a few months. You know,
can you imagine raising your kids not to believe in God, man?
I can't. Especially when with the way my kids are. My kids love God, bro. Like, my kids, you know, like, my kids, they love Jesus, bro. You know what I mean? Like, my little girl, she's 6 years old. She's like, she says to me, she got all bummed out because my son got a picture of Christ for Christmas one year. My daughter was in her bedroom crying. She says, "Well, I want a picture of Jesus too." And I'm like,
yeah.
Wow, flip me out, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they want it for the for themselves, and that's awesome. You know, and I'm not saying that, Jesus is for everybody, whatever. But I mean,
they're so innocent, man. They don't know the difference between anything. Like, they don't different religions, the difference between people. They don't have hate in their body yet.
And I've talked to my kids, and I've explained things to my kids, and I've taught my kids. I said, listen, like if you really want to know like Jesus and whatnot and all that stuff, that's fantastic. You have to understand that he would never want you to put down somebody else for their beliefs either. Like he would want you to tell them what you feel, but then accept them for how they feel too. And then my kids are like, really? And I'm like, yeah, bro, Jesus said, come as you are. You know what I mean? Like, come as you are. If you are the, the elect, if you were the one who was being chosen to, your heart is being led to him, then that's the path you will go down. You know what I mean? Because, you seek and you shall find, you know what I mean? Knock and the door shall be open. And all you have to do is approach him with the faith of a mustard seed, and he'll take over from there. So if these kids, you know what I mean? That's all I would hope to just kind of.
That's why I like when all the drama or whatever happens, I don't let it affect me like that. Like I give all my bullshit, I give it all over to him, man. I let him deal with that. I've been working on myself for a long time, and it feels good, man.
I'm lucky though. The one thing I will say is, luckily through all my years of being around drugs, my affiliations with drugs and all that stuff, drug problems were never really a major thing for me. I was able to kind of turn that off. I mean, I got to the point where I had a rough time with coke just before I got locked up. But being locked up kind of sobered all that out of me, you know what I mean? And it took it right on out of me. And seeing, the devastation of what it did to my friends afterwards when I got out, and I saw like, holy shit, you've been doing this whole fucking time? You know what I mean? Like my friend came at me, bro, we're the same age. My dude looked like he had fucking AIDS, bro. Like bad, or some sort of cancer or something. He was pale, gray. You know what I'm saying? Like looked like shit, skinny, sucked up, nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like just wrecked on the drugs, bro. And I'm like, man, this is so bad. But so
Sis said they have stoops down there in Florida.
They don't got stoops out here, unfortunately. Not that I'm aware of. No. I just choose the stoop because that's where I used to kick it when I was a kid. It's nostalgic for me. We used to sit on the stoop, man, and eat Italian ice.
That's awesome, man. Do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Make a podcast. Start doing your thing. Do your own shows. Don't let no one stop you.
Yeah, dude. Everybody should do. I would encourage everybody to do this. You're gonna find out real quick whether it's for you or not. You know what I mean? You really will. That much I will tell you. I mean, I see cats that come on here think they're
God is good all the time, man.
And then they don't have it. Don't beat yourself up if that's the case. It's just not for you. You know what I mean? But I would encourage everybody to give it a shot. Follow your dreams, no matter what it is. Do whatever you got to do. We're living in crazy times. Need to bring Jesus back in many ways, especially in 2022. Amen to that, bro. Real talk. People sleep on Jesus, man. Don't sleep on Jesus, bro. You know what I mean? Don't sleep on Jesus. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, man. Me and this man Staxx are here today because of the glory of God. Because if it wasn't for God, bro, I'd have been dead, locked up, everything else. I was chosen. You know what I'm saying? I was selected.
Bro, if it wasn't for God, I'd still be in the streets, fucking drinking and being a scumbag.
Straight up.
I'm finally able to be there for my family and be there for people and show them that there's a different way of life. And that's all that matters, man. Well,
Staxx, think about it this way, bro. How many old gangsters do you know?
There's only Sammy, man. He doesn't have the best reputation. People don't respect him.
He got out.
Honestly, I get more respect than Sammy does in the street.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And take that to the bank. You can take that to the bank, Mr. Gravano.
It's like it's like with all the shit that guys like us have been through, man. Like, look, dude. if you've been shot, you've been stabbed, you've been beat up, you've lived through gang wars, you've been through prison, you've been through all these things, and you walk out of all that and think that the reason why you're still here is because of you got bigger fucking problems, my friend. You know what I mean? You are not here because of you, bro. You are not here because of you. You know what I mean? You are here because God
because
is
of my ninja skills, man. I'm here because of ninja skills.
Just the matrix and all this shit. Nah, dude, come on, bro. You're here. You know what I mean? And watching the births of my 4 children, all 4 of my children. I was there.
I cried when my daughter was born. I cried, man. I cried.
Dude, I got a picture. I wish I had it on me. I don't have it on me. I'll show my child. If we do this again, I'll bring them on it.
Oh, we'll do it again, man. Definitely have you on for a part 2. 100%, man.
Bro, my face was as red as this Coke bottle, bro. And tears were literally shooting out of my eyes.
Oh, you drink Coke, man? Yeah. Oh, man. You gotta drink Pepsi, bro.
Yeah, with the Pepsi. The fungal. No, but I saw
my screen froze.
Yeah, I see that, bro.
I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw the birth of my 4 children, I saw the miracles in that, guys. Like, I saw that. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It was different for me. It was like a spiritual thing, you know what I'm saying? Watching my kids get born, and what are you guys saying? I can't scroll the comments because I'm freaking. Oh, okay, hold on, let me see. Somebody, Dom, me too, bro. It changes you. Stuck in the middle with you, Staxx. Team FBS. Cousin Dom. Need your info. Worship Wednesday. Jesus save me. Awesome. Yeah, I hear you, bro. How you doing, man? You're back. Good.
Browser won't let me turn the video camera back on.
What won't?
My browser won't. I got to restart my computer.
Oh, that's whack. Well, we could finish the rest of the show out, or you can end it now if you want. You've been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we'll end it now, man. We'll do a part 2.
Sounds good.
Thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate you. And I'm definitely going to have you on again, man.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. Shout out to everybody, bro. Shout out to FBS, Gunsmoke, cousin Paulie, everybody that came in here from my channel to watch. Please like and subscribe to Staxx's channel if you haven't already, man. This is a good guy. He's a great dude.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, man. God bless. I wish everybody the best. And this was a blast, bro. Thank you so much, Staxx. This was a fun time.
If you want to go check out his channel, just go to the description of my video, and his channel link is in there. You just click on the link, and it'll bring you right to his channel. So
thank you, guys. It was a pleasure hanging out with all of you.
Thank you, Dom, man. And remember, if anyone wants to send anything to the show, you can send it to P.O.Box 1054. Bristol, Connecticut 06011. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Till next time, man.
Jimmy Calandra too, man. I love you, bro. Thank you very much. You guys have a great night. Take care.